And good afternoon, everybody. I'm Keith Coons. We begin with that big breaking news out of New Haven, where at least 19 people have been rushed to hospitals after overdosing on drugs on the New Haven Green. News 8 Stephanie Simone out there live with more on what we know at this hour. Stephanie.
Hi, Keith. We were the first crew on the scene, and you can see behind me another person has overdosed. Look at the big response behind me. Several paramedics rushing to the scene here on the New Haven Green, right near the fountain, and this is what we have been seeing all morning long. One man was convulsing and screaming when we arrived on the scene. Look at what happened just hours ago. You can see this huge response here in New Haven. Several police officers and paramedics trying to restrain one man. Another man just collapsed right in front of us. A paramedic told me this is a bad batch of K2 that is going around. They call it spice on the streets. K2 is a synthetic marijuana, and it's not clear, but health officials believe this is laced with other drugs too. Last night, they responded to 3 overdoses. Today, 15. We just saw another one here, so it is very close to around 20 people. A witness told me that this drug was just being passed around the green.
He probably was smoking the K2 and he came out of it and flipped out. They had to restrain him. That's usually the K2.
You heard him scream?
I heard him screaming, yeah, and the other one's unresponsive.
There's been police presence on the green since then. We're doing our best to get people to the hospital in the safest, most practical and efficient manner.
We heard from people on the green this morning that it potentially included PCP, and some of the reactions of the patients in the emergency department would suggest that there was an opioid involved as well.
They say some of the victims are responding well to large doses of Narcan once they get to the hospital, but they're still trying to figure out exactly what this drug is and where it is coming from. So far, we don't have any reports of any deaths, but like I said, Keith, seconds before we came on the air, another person collapsed. Paramedics rushed to another overdose here on the New Haven Green. We are live in New Haven. Stephanie Simone, News 8.
Stephanie, thank you. We continue now with our team coverage of that mass overdose on the green with News 8's Mario Boone. Mario, this story seems to be changing really by the minute at this point.
Keith, it really is. Minute by minute, we're getting new information from emergency workers, and unfortunately, the number of overdoses continues to increase. Now, much of the activity was right here in this area of the green, as well as just across where my colleague Stephanie Simone is at this time. And we are told that the number of overdoses now up to 20, at least 20, and that is just since 8 o'clock today. Let's get you to the video. I will tell you that just about a half hour ago, we were literally in the middle of a news conference with police, fire, emergency workers, when a man frantically ran up screaming that another overdose had occurred just within a few steps from where we were standing. We took off sprinting in that direction. We found a man sprawled out on the ground, barely responsive. Firefighters able to get to him quickly and get him the necessary medical attention to bring him around and get him to the ER. We're told that about 10 people taken to St. Raphael's campus here in New Haven, another 10 taken over to Yale New Haven ER. One thing is for sure, emergency workers having a busy day today dealing with this. We're told this is tremendously taxing on our firefighters and emergency responders. Thank goodness no serious events have occurred anywhere else in the city because emergency workers, as I said, tied up right now dealing with this problem here on the green. Of course, we will stay here live as we come back live on this scene. We'll stay here all day monitoring what is going on. We hope to have more updated information posted on WTNH.com. Please follow that for the very latest. Of course, back here on the news at 5 this evening. We're live from the New Haven Green downtown. I'm Mario Boone, News 8.
Mario, thank you. We're also following breaking news out of Newington right now. A shooting this morning at Hoffman Gun Center on the Berlin Turnpike. News 8's LaSalle Blanks live this midday with what we're learning about what happened there. LaSalle.
Keith, good afternoon. Moments ago, I spoke with a police officer who was here on scene, and I asked him if they are investigating a possible suicide inside Hoffman's Guns, and he told me, yes, that is one thing that they are looking into at this time. Nothing confirmed from the Newington Police Department, though. And moments ago, this parking lot was filled with several police cars. A couple of those cars just took off. There is one still left here. A man, presumably a worker or someone from management, yelled at us to get off the property, so that's why we are keeping our distance right now. Before that happened, though, we spoke to a customer who says he was surprised and shaken to see police cars and crime scene tape here in the parking lot when he pulled up. Here's what he told us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's the last thing I would expect pulling in here.
Newington police are investigating a possible suicide inside Hoffman's gun shop right off Berlin Turnpike. We'll stay out here and cover this story, bring you the latest developments on air and online. Live in Newington, LaSalle Blanks, News 8.
LaSalle, thank you. Busy day here, and you can stay up to date with all of our breaking news stories by downloading our free News 8 app. We will also have the very latest developments both on air, also on our website at WTNH.com.